to silence me, to destroy my credibility, and to serve as an example to
Mr.
others.
Chair. Certain PDL din Dondon Palermo was already discharged from our custody by virtue of a court order.
So, he was already released.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
When was that?
And perhaps 3 years already, Mr. Chair.
Anyway, to the chair once again, we will direct COMSEC to invite PDL Dondon and get the full name of that PDL through the warden of Provincial Jail Management, Penal Jail Leyte, and course through to the PNP.
COMSEC, you are directed to comply with the request of Congressman Paduano.
Yes, sir.
With regards to Espinosa siblings, the mother of Kerwin Espinosa, the sister of Kerwin Espinosa, Linda Rosal, household cleaner, Landa Sumalag, the household cleaner, and Tessie Austria, household cleaner. Are they present at today's
Kinatawang
hearing?
ito po ay lubos na nababahala at dismayado sa hindi pagdalo ng dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa hearing ng ating komite. Parang naggagayahan lang ang mag-amang Duterte. Ang daming sinasabi kapag hindi under oath o wala sa tamang lugar. Pero kapag pinatawag na sa formal na pagdinig, nag-uugaling pusit na pareho. At ang dami ng rason para huwag dumalo ang sagutin ng maayos ang mga katanungan natin. Kaya I move na kapag hindi pa dumalo si dating Presidente Duterte, susunod na hearing ay isight na siya in contempt or kung ano man yung rules natin. Kundi ay ito po ay isang malaking insulto sa mga pamilya. Andyan po yung pamilya ng mga biktima ng madugong war on drugs na nandito po sa atin. Sa kanyang pagtanggi ay nagpapakita lamang ng kawalan ng respeto sa proseso ng investigasyon at sa pagharap sa katotohanan. Mr. Chair, ang mga aligasyon laban sa kanya ay napakaseryoso. Mula sa mga pagpatay sa mga sibilyan, sospek at may hirap, maging sa mga Chinese drug convicts hanggang sa pagkamatay ni Mayor Rolando Espinosa. Hindi ito mga bagay na dapat ipagwalang bahala o iwasan. Kung totoong walang itinatago si dating Pangulong Duterte, bakit hindi niya harapin ang mga tanong natin dito sa committee? Bakit kailangan pang magtago sa likod ng mga dahilan tulad ng health issues at short notice? Mr. Chair, hinihiling ko sa committee na gawin ang lahat ng hakbang upang matiyak ang pagdalo ni dating Pangulong Duterte sa susunod na hearing kung patuloy siyang magtatago at dapat natin isaalang-alang ang paggamit ng ating kapangyarihan para isight siya in contempt. Ang bayan ay nangangailangan ng katotohanan at hustisya. Hindi tayo dapat magpatinag sa mga taktika ng pag-iwas at pagtatago. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Caso. The last
Chair.
to deliver his manifestation is Congressman Keith Flores, with the indulgence of Congressman Abante. You are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I only want to confirm that I personally know Attorney Delgra, and I called him up during the break, Mr. Chair. He confirmed that he is acting for and in behalf of the President when he wrote that letter, Mr. Chair. He even sent a text message to confirm that. But I also understand that our rules require his physical presence. So I submit to the ruling of our chairpersons.
Question lang, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank
Mr.
you,
Chair.
Congressman Keith Flores. Now, Congressman Abante, before Congressman Manuel. You are recognized, Congressman Abante.
Since Congresswoman Arlene and Franz Castro mentioned the victims, no? Yung mga kamag-anak po ng victims, can we recognize them? Can we ask all of them to stand up, please, to recognize ang mga kamag-anak po ng mga biktima?
Pwede po bang tumayo ang mga kamag-anak po ng biktima? Maraming salamat po. Pwede na po kayong maupo. Maraming salamat. Congressman Manuel and then Congressman Acop. Congressman
Thank you.
Manuel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, tanong lang dahil batay na rin po sa official communication na pinadala mula sa panig ng dating Pangulo. Nabanggit po doon yung, and I quote, willingness to appear before the House of Representatives on some other available date, preferably after November 1, end of quote. So, Mr. Chair, sa ganitong mga pagkakataon na sa panig po nila nag-express ng ganong availability, how will the committee deal with that? Dahil, Mr. Chair, while meron tayong mga tinitake note na mga considerations, ayaw din naman natin na maprolong iyan, tapos baka tumagal din na hindi pala magiging maayos yung kalusugan ng dating Pangulo at madadali po ang mga proceedings ng komite na expected na humarap siya. So, sa bahagi ng Quadcom, Mr. Chair, do we have some target dates kung kailan talaga posibleng matuloy na ang investigasyon na makaupo ang dating Pangulo? Yun lang, Mr. Chair.
Well, in response to your question, Congressman Manuel, it will depend by and large on the topic that we will set on the next scheduled committee hearing. So in case where EJK will be the scheduled topic, then we will have to extend invitation again to the former president. So thank you. Congressman Acop.
Mr. Chair, pursuant to our rules on inquiry under Section 15, may I respectfully move that we extend our inquiry insofar as the issues raised in the Quadcom Committee is concerned, because Section 15 requires that we terminate our hearings within a period of 60 days. So may I move, Mr. Chair, that we extend the hearing? So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion
Second,
to
Mr.
extend the Quadcom hearing. Duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Comsec, please take note that the committee, the Quadcom, has unanimously approved the extension of the conduct of this committee hearing. Thank you. Now we proceed with the next part of the agenda. May we ask former Senator Laila de Lima for your opening statement?
Mr. Chair, bago po yun, naalaman ko po na meron pang mga nasa baba ng mga EJK victims, ng mga pamilya, na kung meron tayong lugar dito, wala na yata lugar, pwedeng umakyat or pwede na natin kilalanin at recognize.
Wala na po tayong lugar, Your Honor. And hopefully, magkasya po sana po dito lahat ng nating naimbitahang resource persons. But unfortunately, the space is limited. So I believe that they are properly seated sa basement, sa ground floor. And nanonood po sila ng ating hearing sa ngayon. So now we proceed with acknowledging former Senator Laila de Lima for your opening statement. Please proceed.
Good morning to the lead chair of the Quad Committee, Representative Barbers, to the other committees constituting the Quadcom, the members of the Quadcom, members of Congress, and also good morning to the other resource persons invited for today's hearing. Actually po, I have both a statement and a presentation. Medyo mahaba po, and I was advised right before the hearing that I should cut it down. Although mahaba po talagang presentation ko. Best efforts, I will try to abbreviate.
Mr. Chair, before our former senator proceeds, can I just request that she puts the mic a little bit closer, just so that we can hear her voice louder. Thank you very much.
Salamat po. I attend this hearing with a deep sense of irony. I have not forgotten that in September the House Committee on Justice conducted the inquiry on the Bilibid drug trade. However, unlike this hearing, the real subject of that hearing was not really about the drug trade, The real subject of that 2016 House Committee hearing was all about destroying me for conducting a Senate inquiry, which in so many aspects was like this one. The only difference between this hearing and that Senate hearing is that my committee inquiry was 8 years earlier and Duterte was at the peak of power. Sa Senate hearing pong yun, ay kinundin ako yung drug war ni Duterte. At nagmakaawa pa po ako na tigilan na ito habang ilang daan pa lang ang mga nagiging biktima at wag na sanang paabutin pa ng libo-libo. Ngunit sa kasawiang palad, wala pong nakinig sa akin, lalo na may mga mayorya po tayo ng mga senador at congressman na ayon kay Senator Bongo noong isang araw, ay walang sawa sa pagpalakpak kay Pangulong Duterte sa bawat banggit niya sa pagsulong na madugong drug war sa kanyang mga zona. Sa halip ako ay pinaaresto, pinakulong, binusalan ng halos 7 taon gamit ang mga gawa-gawang ebidensya katulad ng testimonya ng mga ilang believed drug lords at inmates. I'd like to say that the objective for targeting me was threefold: to silence me, to destroy my credibility, and to serve as an example to others. By doing all three, my message to the people against Duterte's EJKs would no longer be heard or listened to, and no one else would dare to act as a messenger after seeing what was done to me. Since all three were achieved, the EJKs became accepted by public officials and the general population. This led to more killings because no one was arresting and prosecuting the killer cops and the vigilantes. This was impunity as never seen before in the Philippines outside of Davao. Sobrang nakakalungkot na ngayon lamang nagkaroon ng napaka-komprehensibong pagtalakay ang Kamara de Representante sa drug war at mga EJK pagkatapos ng tumambak ang libo-libong bangkay na naging biktima ng drug war. Ayon nga po kay Professor Randy David, marahil ang pandinig na ito ng Kamara ay katumbas na rin ng aming pinapangarap na Truth Commission na hihimay sa mga tunay na pangyayari sa 6 na taon na pagpaslang ng ating sariling gobyerno at kapulisan sa libo-libo nating mga kababayan. But right now, I don't want to discuss it, but my position is that pwede pa sigurong i-consider yung creation ng Truth Commission. At tingnan din ho natin na hindi lang po pagpatay ang naging resulta ng war on drugs ni Duterte. There are also those who were unjustly imprisoned based on planted and fabricated evidence. Ako nga po yung one of the very first victims of that. Ngayon naman po, ito na rin po ang pinatutuo yung sa bagong revelasyon ni Police Colonel Royina Garma nang binulgar niya sa huling hearing ng Quadcom na siya ang inatasan mismo ni Pangulong Duterte na maghanap ng tao sa PNP na maasahan niya sa pag-iimplementa ng drug war alinsunod sa modelong ginawa niya sa Davao City. That's why my presentation, and I'll try to really make it brief, would cover 4 matters, 4 topics. One is the recent disclosure of Kerwin Espinosa. I'd like to comment on that. 2 is the importance of the 2009 CHR investigation of the DDS to the inquiry of this committee. 3 is the revelation of former Police Colonel Royina Garma that the drug war was modeled after the Davao anti-drug campaign. And I'd like also to touch the relevance of Republic Act number 9851 on crimes against humanitarian law, genocide, and other crimes against humanity in enforcing accountability. So ito na po yung aking presentation. Although meron po akong mga i-skip because actually part of my presentation are some videos, but hindi ko na po yon ipapakita because of the limited time. So nung narinig ko nga po yung testimonya ni Kerwin Espinosa last hearing, it was Senator Bato de la Rosa who ordered him to lie under oath before the Senate in November 2016. Hindi na po ako nagulat doon. Si Kerwin actually already retracted his fabricated testimony against me in April 2022, around the same time that Rafael Ragos, the former Bucor OIC and NBI Deputy Director, also recanted in accusing me of receiving money from Bilibid drug lords. Dun po sa hearing sa Senado ay talaga namang sinabi ko doon na lahat po ng mga sinasabi nila tungkol sa akin, so yung pagiging protector ko daw nung illegal drug trade ni Mr. Kerwin Espinosa ay wala ho yung katotohanan. I vehemently, categorically, and firmly went on record in denying those accusations. Sinabi ko rin noon na yung mga sinasabi nila, Kerwin Espinosa, ni Ronnie Dayan, and ni Colonel Espinido ay wala talagang katotohanan. In the first place, hindi nga sila magkakilala. Nauna na nilang sinabi yon before they were presented before the Senate na hindi sila mga magkakilala. Dali lang po. So ngayon po, nandito si Colonel Espinido. I saw him earlier. If the Quad Committee would be so kind as to indulge me, gusto ko sana makiusap kay Colonel Espinido. Sabihin niya na yung katotohanan. Kasi yung all he said during that Senate hearing was just let God be the witness to my innocence or something to that effect. Sana po ngayon, Colonel Espinido, sabihin niyo na rin po ang katotohanan. Kung pwede sabihin nyo na rin o i-corroborate nyo yung sinabi ni Kerwin na si then PNP Chief De La Rosa and now Senator De La Rosa ang involved or responsible for ordering the three of you to fabricate accusations against me. Now, sinabi ko rin po kanina na I'd like to discuss the relevance of the CHR investigation and the Quadcom inquiry. Maybe at this point, I cannot yet do that. Sasabihin ko lang po na mahalaga yung naging CHR investigation namin in 2009 into the DDS killings. Kasi pwede itong maging reference point in terms of painting a picture of the organization, the Davao Death Squad, the operation, and the implementation of the Duterte drug war from the barangay to the national level. Kasi sinabi na nga ho ni Colonel Garma, yung kanyang mga revelasyon na the extrajudicial killings, yung mga operations under Duterte's drug war beginning in 2016 was just patterned after the Davao model. And the Davao model can only refer or can only mean the DDS model, or the Davao Death Squad. Skip muna po natin yan. Doon naman sa affidavit po ni Colonel Garma, presented and expounded upon the last hearing, I'd like to share some information we got and some findings on the Davao model of payment and rewards mentioned by Colonel Garma. This information is limited to the facts uncovered during the 2009 CHR investigation on the Davao Death Squad. Next slide, please. The history of the DDS can be divided into two. The period from 1988 to 1998 and the period from 2001 to 2016. So may break po. The break in these two periods coincides with then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte's hiatus as mayor of Davao City when he was elected congressman instead of mayor in 1998 due to the three-term limit. So for brevity, I'll refer to the former mayor as MRRD. According to a witness in the 2009 CHR investigation, during the first period of the DDS from 1988 to 2000, the assassins were paid 15,000 for every victim. 5,000 goes to the police handler and 10,000 to the assassins, who at the time consisted of rebel returnees aside from the active duty policemen who were their handlers. Their safe house was located inside the Nabelcom compound in Barangay San Pedro, Davao. After the summary execution of targeted victims, the DDS members would regroup at their safe house and divide the reward. During that time, MRRD sometimes personally gave out the kill orders and the reward money directly to the assassins themselves. Upon the return of MRRD as mayor of Davao in 2001, the DDS was upgraded into the Heinous Crimes Investigation Section, or HCIS, located at the Almendras Gym compound. The HCIS was an official unit of the DCPO, or the Davao City Police Office. The HCIS consists of both active duty PNP and civilian abanteros, or hitmen. Most of the hitmen are rebel returnees. They are supervised by PNP handlers. Each handler supervises 3 members. The task of the PNP handler is to give orders to his members as well as be responsible for their protection. According to the CHR witness, he was given a regular monthly salary of 5,000. During this time, the reward given to a team for every victim was anywhere from 13,000 to 15,000. 3,000 to 5,000 goes to the PNP handler, 7,000 to 8,000 was shared among the rebel returnees, and 500 to 1,000 to civilian informants. The HCIS civilian personnel or rebel returnees directly received salaries as auxiliary service workers. The funds for their salaries came from the office of the mayor. Functions have also been specialized, with members being designated to do either office support or field work. A team of 1 PNP handler and 3 civilian abanteros was given an average of 3 targets every month. May I now go also to the revelation of Arturo Las Cañas. Yung mga naging findings po namin, although yung iba po doon, mga unofficial findings ng CHR investigation, were eventually confirmed by Edgar Matobato and Arturo Las Cañas when they went public at the Senate with their stories and executed affidavits in 2016 and 2017. Matobato executed an affidavit and was filed with the Ombudsman as a criminal complaint against Duterte and other DDS members. That criminal complaint is still pending sa Office of the Ombudsman. The most comprehensive account on the DDS from its founding in 1988 up to 2016 is the affidavit of Arturo Las Cañas, which was submitted to the ICC. This affidavit consists of 186 pages of gory details on the sociopathic behavior of Duterte as founder and leader of the DDS. Yung 186-page affidavit po yan, actually it was serialized in an investigative or feature story of Rappler in November 2021. Apparently, Rappler got hold of a copy of this affidavit and also the ICC's 3rd agreement on limited use of information dated November 11, 2020. This instrument gave Las Cañas limited immunity as a witness in the ICC investigation on the Philippine War on Drugs. Noong 2024 naman po, Las Cañas reiterated the contents of his ICC affidavit in another serialized feature, this time published by Verifiles, entitled Conversations with Arturo Las Cañas. Ito naman po ang sinasabi ni Las Cañas, that during the period 1988 to 1998, so I'm just talking here about the organization, kasi napakadami po ng mga sinabi niya